Hi, everybody. Tis I. I want to talk about something that may be really helpful for parents to think about when they have teenagers. I think a lot of people fail to realize that someday our sons and daughters are going to be 18 and considered adults according to law. And I don't know about you, but I relished in being a mom. I love being a mom. I loved having children. I the I just did. And I love being around children today because there's a certain break you can take as an adult where you don't have to think too hard and you can get back to the simplicity of life and where they see things in a much different lens than we do. They see it through purity and innocence and joy. They see colors and rainbows different from we do. They celebrate bugs and running and water. It's just, it's such a nice respite from everyday life. But we tend to forget that someday our sons and daughters are going to be adults. And I think a lot of parents struggle with the fact that when their children are 18, they're deemed responsible for their actions out in this world. And at that point, you have to say, what kind of relationship am I going to have with my son or my daughter when they are old enough to vote, join the military, choose what college they're going to, move out with a partner, choose whatever relationships they want, and they're not going to need me as much. And in fact, they shouldn't need me as much because they're going to have to think for themselves. So I think what a lot of parents forego doing is having that talk. When you're 18 and you're an adult and you graduate high school, there are going to be different expectations. I'm going to expect a certain amount of responsibility and accountability for our home. I know you're going to be 18, but certain rules still stand. I still want you to do your chores, contribute, help your dad, help your mom when she asks, but also regarding relationships. I, I either will or will not allow your date to spend the night for stay significant amount of times. If you all get pregnant, what's going to happen here? You have to have adult conversations with your sons and daughters, and that should be starting when they're in high school. It's in preparation for them finally having the opportunity to make decisions which you started making when you were 18, 19, 20 years old. I know it's really scary. And I know most parents don't even want to have the talk about the birds and the bees when their kids are young. But we have to prepare them. And most important, we have to prepare ourselves. There's going to be, it's going to be a new dynamic in your house. And you don't want your children to rebel. It's going to be very difficult because there's a lot of parental estrangement. And it may happen whether or not you loosen your purse strings or whatever. But I'm just saying, if you can prepare yourselves for that time and morph into adulthood where you will take on a new relationship with your son or daughter who is now an adult, I think it would be much easier than not talking about it and then having those fights and struggles after they're 18 when they say, well, you never told me. You never told me things would change or there was going to be an expectation where I had to contribute maybe $50 a week in rent or paid my own bills. You never told me, so how did I know? Well, have that talk when they're young. Set up your expectations. Let them know what the rules are because after all, it is your house. And if someone doesn't want to follow the rules of your house, they can go find another place to live. That's all there is to it. And I'll be back.